Also this afternoon, Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection vows to ensure justice for the late Ransford, Ansah, saying that crime has no expiration. Also coming up this afternoon, all set for the 29th Ghana Journalists Association Awards at the Menchia Palace in the Ashanti region. We have details of these and many more coming up shortly. Do stick and stay with us. Welcome once again to the bulletin. My name is Judith Brown. We start from here. The National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat Task Force has arrested 36 illegal miners at Oseno in the Fantiakwa South District of the Eastern Region. Well, out of those apprehended, 32 are foreign nationals of Nigerian descent, while 4 are Ghanaians. During the operations carried out in the night, the task force seized several mining equipment and established a group of machete-wielding men who attempted to resist the arrest. In another operation, the Birim North District, several miners were also arrested. The suspects in police custody to be arraigned for court as the task force intensifies the clampdown on illegal mining activities. Let's now cross over to our Eastern Regional correspondent, Yvonne Nikwe, for updates on this particular story. Yvonne, good afternoon to you. Now, what more can you report on the arrests of these illegal miners?
Good afternoon, Judith. As I speak to you, the suspect has been transferred from the Enyinam police station headed towards the national capital, Accra, for processing and to be arraigned before court during the weekdays. What it means is that NADMO says it would continue its exercise in the region to ensure that there is sanity. Well, the modus operandi of both the NADMO officials and the miners has not changed. It's actually about the seizing of equipment, ensuring that they are not mining in waterways and forest bodies. But for these miners and those who come attacking the NADMO is actually where the issue is, that we're seeing security officials move to side to clamp down on miners. Yet, group of people, machete-wielding people in this particular case, coming at them. Those people who have been arrested. But the Eastern Regional Security Liaison Officer, Francis Anodompe, says they will not condone to these attacks from the youth, but they would ensure that these things is scheduled to ensure that people do have water, because as I speak to you, that particular enclave don't have water to drink. Many of them would have to resort to boreholes. If you don't have boreholes, it means that you do not have water. So Osino Enclave, OCM and Co. are part of the majority of the issues that the Eastern region would have to do with. Let's listen to Francis Anodompe as he cautions the youth.
Right.
Please, just stop it and pack your things and leave and be safe. Otherwise, there will be no safer place for you. The men will come after you. We will not stop. We will not stop until sanity prevails in that mining area, as the president has promised, and we will continue to do that. If you look at the pictures, the operations, we burn some structures. Some other things have been seized, some cars and other things have been picked up, and we are still monitoring and operating and following things up. So every now and then we'll keep briefing you, updating you as to how the operation is going. We want to make sure, especially Osino and Enyinam, there is sanity, because what is happening there is an eyesore. Anybody who uses that stretch will tell you no. They do it as if there is no law. They do it as if there are no security agencies around. And they do that, I don't know what has come over them, as if they cannot be arrested, as if they are above the law. And that will not sit down and watch for this thing to continue. We will act, and act decisively this time round.
Many thanks for your time. Yvonne Nikwe has been speaking to us on that particular subject. We're going to head to the Eastern region because the Eastern Regional Security Liaison Directorate has warned any future attacks on regulatory agencies and allied organizations would be dealt with decisively. Well, their statement follows a recent incident in which a team from the Environmental Protection Agency and a journalist were attacked and injured while on official duty. They also announced that commencement of the second phase of the 9-month operation, a clampdown on illegal mining activities in the Eastern region, is about to start.
The regional security liaisons are poised to deal with any youth who dare operational teams.
We are sounding caution and we are advising that Eastern region is not going to countenance on that. When you see the security agencies doing their legitimate duty, then you call youths to mobilize and attack them. We are not going to accept that. We will meet you squarely.
He also warned traditional leaders to refrain from supporting youth groups and laggards involved in illegal mining attacks and other unlawful activities.
The chiefs, they are also, per our intelligence, they are the ones bringing laggards into the system. And they are armed, and that is dangerous. And we will come after them. And the worst are that if you mobilize to attack the security agencies this time round will not say, oh, they are our people, so let's keep it cool. No. When you attack, they will defend them. We will defend ourselves and come after you.
Now, the Chief Executive Officer of the Forestry Commission, Dr. Hugh Brown, has described the fight against illegal mining, popularly known as Galamsey, as a scary and life-threatening mission for officers protecting Ghana's forest reserves. He's calling for stronger government and security support to safeguard the nation's natural resources.
Speaking at the 28th Annual General Meeting of the Ghana Institute of Foresters in Kumasi, Dr. Brown revealed that officers of the Forestry Commission face constant threats and intimidation from illegal miners while carrying out their duties. The meeting, which brought together forestry professionals from across the country, centered on sustainable forest management and strategies to combat illegal mining activities, destroying forest reserves and water bodies.
We have officers on the ground who day in, day out have to go out there into the forest to help protect these forests. The challenge we've had is that because the Forestry Commission is a purely civilian institution, sometimes we have to rely on the security forces to support us, and that is not always very easy. So you may have a situation where they go into a situation, they pull out, you call for additional support, but it takes quite a while. And maybe by the time the support comes, a lot of the area has been already damaged. So we are looking at a situation where the Forestry Commission will transition from a purely civilian institution to become a paramilitary institution, so that we can be able to equip our men adequately to confront the current challenges.
The president of the Ghana Institute of Foresters, Dr. Abukari N. Atta, expressed disappointment over what he describes as the government's weak commitment in fighting against illegal mining. He said the political will to deal decisively with Galamsey is missing.
The government should have been fighting us, not we fighting the politicians. And you saw pictures of the devastating nature of our forests. So nobody can tell us that we are winning the fight against Galamsey or illegal mining in the forest. So that one, everybody sees that we are losing the fight, even though efforts are being made to restore sustainable mining.
The ongoing destruction of Ghana's forest reserves continues to threaten biodiversity, water bodies and climate resilience, as experts call for urgent and decisive action against illegal mining.
And we're going to stay on the issue of Galamsey because the National Coordinator for Eco-Conscious Citizens, Awolasewa, has called for a measured environmental response to communities that put up resistance to officers of the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, NIMOS. Now, this follows recent attacks mounted against the task force of the Environmental Protection Authority, EPA, and some journalists in Afari in the Ashanti region and Shidiem in the Ahafo region. Meanwhile, other panelists on the show, including NDC Director of Legal Affairs and Vice President of Imani Africa, are worried about the latest development. They spoke on the key points today.
I think about 2 years ago, the people of La were walking around their lands to have a picnic. They were set upon by the armed forces, and some journalists were injured. Recently, we had the case in Ashiaman when I think a military man had his phone or something stolen. Look at the response of the military. And yet the IGP's men are attacked, trying to stop illegal mining, which is causing an existential threat. Most recently, the EPA's team was attacked. What has been the response? Yes, in many cases, the army may need to retreat and regather, but immediately you must go back and show that this kind of behavior will not be tolerated. And I don't mean to go back and brutalize people. That is not what I'm talking about. But there has to be a measured professional response. Otherwise, you are emboldening other environmental terrorists and telling them that if they show force, will retreat, run away, and they can continue doing what they are doing.
At all material time, we need to appreciate that to win this war, it will require the collective efforts of all of us. Recently, I listened to one of your colleague journalists make the point that he conducted an underground investigation. I think he's with Oiripa. Paka.
Yes.
And he said, look, when he did this underground investigation in one of the communities in Ashanti region, he found out that the local pastor was involved, that the teacher was involved. Now they are using school kids. And in his words, Omoyam Galano. They are the kids who help in grinding the sand or what have you. The local pastor.
And they are not going to school.
They are not going to school. So it's affecting enrollment.
When you are dealing with Galamsey people, and we have said it, I have said it here and other places, Galamsey is no longer a civil law enforcement issue.
What is it?
Galamsey is organized international crime.
Organized international crime.
Yes, involving armed insurgents. Organized international crime involving armed insurgents and internal people who constitute terrorists or what you call internal aggression. Okay, we've said it here. I have said it here and other places that there are places in this country which are no-go areas for the state. You have territories that have been taken over by persons who are armed and well organized. These people have people sitting in air-conditioned offices in Accra, writing LCs in the millions of dollars, and importing excavators from across the world, shipping it here, and transporting it into the bush, organizing to mine gold and ship it to Dubai.
Now, away from Galamsey, the Ghana Police Service has provided an update on a defilement case in Mankasim where a 32-year-old man was handed a lengthy prison sentence. The Cape Coast Circuit Court 2 has sentenced Eric Asamoah to 16 years imprisonment with hard labor for defilement. The case, which occurred on November 2, 2025, was heard on November 6 and presided over by Her Honor Nanaba Nuno. Now, according to the police, the accused pleaded guilty to the charge of defilement and was convicted on his own plea. Eric Asamoah has since been transferred to the Ankerford prison to begin serving his sentence. Well, the Ghana Police Service says that the sentencing serves as a strong warning to anyone involved in sexual offences, reaffirming its commitment to ensuring justice for victims of such crimes. We'll stay on issues of defilement, and the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection says it will ensure that justice is served for the late Ransford Ansah, a 16-year-old footballer who was allegedly subjected to years of sexual abuse by his coach at the Cybersecurity Soccer Academy. Well, a press release issued by the Public Affairs Unit of the Ministry reaffirmed its commitment to a full investigation into the case, stressing that crime has no expiration. The ministry added that Ransford had been receiving medical attention since December 2024 and was later admitted to the Komfo Teaching Hospital, CAF, where he passed away despite being in intensive treatment. The ministry explained that since assuming office, the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection has engaged the Ghana Football Association, GFA, to enhance accountability and strengthen child protection systems within the football sector. Following this engagement, Cybersecurity Soccer Academy has not only suspended the coach but also temporarily shut down its operations pending the outcome of the investigations. Additionally, the ministry, through its Orange Support Center, has been working closely with the Ansah Domestic Violence and Victim Support Unit. The case has since been referred to the Greater Accra Regional DOFSU for further investigation. Well, we'll try and engage the ministers and when we get here. But for now, the minority in Parliament has insisted that the vetting of Chief Justice nominee Paul Bafoboni cannot happen until the pending legal cases filed by Getru Tokonu have been decided. It follows an earlier motion they submitted to the Speaker asking that he stops the Appointments Committee from all processes leading to the vetting. The majority side rejected the demand by the minority and said that vetting will still happen on Monday, November 10, as advertised.
The Constitution is very clear on these matters. The nomination of the Chief Justice is properly before this House. It has been referred to the committee, and the committee will sit on Monday. I urge him to appear before the committee as a member. You can ask all your questions. The Chief Justice nominee is ready and available and willing to answer all questions put to him, and very, very capable.
I dare submit that the man who is going to be nominated himself is conflicted. He is in conflict. How can you, who knows that that office, the occupant, is being denied her human rights?
Well, let's head back to our story on the sad passing of a 16-year-old footballer who was allegedly sexually assaulted. Because joining us on phone now is the Minister of Gender and Children Social Protection, Dr. Agnes Momot-Lartey. She's joining us for more details. Good afternoon, ma'am. Now, the nation is shocked by the allegations of sexual abuse on the late Ransford Ansah against his coach and other cases of child abuse in the country. Can you update us, firstly, on the current status of the investigation and what support the ministry is actually providing to the family?
Thank you very much, and a good morning to your listeners. Let me take the opportunity once again to appreciate all of you who make the work much easier. This case preceded my taking over as a minister. As soon as it came to my attention, I tried to work behind the scenes with the relevant stakeholders to get some justice for Ransford. At the time, in fact, the report that we received, this was somewhere 2024 when things got worse and we started receiving medical attention. And so we had some medical reports on what was happening to him. Immediately, the GSA collaborated with me, and they went to the scene, that is the camp, and then ensured that the boys who were there were sent home to safety. And then the coach was also suspended by the academy to allow for investigation. And so for a very long time, there was virtually no activity there. And then we picked it up. The family, the mother of late Ransford and their lawyer approached us. We had very good discussions with them, and we looked at the way forward so that we'll be able to ensure that the allegations, the facts before us could be verified, and then we'll know that this is the way forward, I mean, for us as an institution. So when I took over as a minister, that was when the actual work began with the ministry, the DG secretariat taking over, having meetings with the lawyer and the mother of the victim.
Right.
As we speak, so with those initiatives, the Ansah police station was able to, DOFSU was able to transfer the case to the regional police station, DOFSU, where DOFSU is now handling the case, and I'm in touch with the CID. And so, by way of update, in fact, when the late transfer passed on, the family asked for a break to be able to mourn him, and we needed some information, which they said after the mourning period they were going to get back to us.
Right.
I think a few days ago, the lawyer reconnected with us, and they are asking for it.
And the ministry says that you have been working with the Ghana Football Association, GFA, to strengthen child protection systems in football. What specific measures have already been put in place to prevent such incidents in the future?
Can you please repeat that?
I'm saying that the GFA, that's the ministry, has been working with the GFA to ensure that such incidents do not happen again in the future. And I'm asking what specific measures have been put in place to prevent these incidents.
Okay, so right from the beginning, one of the few modalities we established was for GSA to be paying frequent visits to such camps, and then also put in some monitoring mechanism where they can take the children randomly, like a day out, and then ensure that they have some discussions with them. We are also encouraging parents whose children are footballers and are into the sporting fields and are in camps to pay attention to them, not only boys, but girls as well. Because as you know, that is another area of vulnerability when it comes to handling sexual abuse or assault across the globe. And so we are working to get some policy strengthened so that we'll be able to also play the oversight responsibility more. And then maybe some intersectorial meetings to have briefings in view of us having a concrete step forward. And so basically, this is what we've been doing. And if there's any information, the GSA also calls us. If they need us to collaborate on anything pertaining to our sector, they get in touch with us, and then we are able to work together.
Right. And lastly, what message do you have for parents, guardians, and the public at large on how to identify and report suspected child abuse cases?
If I'm hearing you right, you are asking how parents can report child abuse cases.
And identify as well.
Okay. So when I say I'm grateful to the people of Ghana, I really mean it because with the work that we are all doing, you could see that there's heightened awareness. And so issues that would have otherwise considered as normal and not report them Now people see it and they know that it's an infringement of the right of an individual and that they need to report them. Even if we don't have the fullest of mandate, once the case comes, we assess it and then we refer to the appropriate authority. And then where we need to provide shelter, we do stay. And so I just want to say that the level of awareness in the country, we are so grateful for that. And then we want to encourage the media as well to partner the ministry more actively. And in reporting, we will ask that the victim is always protected. And sometimes, because in this case, Ransford unfortunately is no more with us, but for the future of the children who get victimized, there's a need for us to protect them. Because when they grow, some of the things we put out there on the internet and other spaces, they will go away. And we don't want any stigma, following them in their growth and development. Right. So we appeal to the media and all other stakeholders that in as much as we want to bring everything out there in the public, we should think of the safety of the children. As a ministry, we are mandated to protect the children, and that we'll do with everything that we have, or every resource we have at our disposal. And so we encourage parents to monitor, not to leave the children that they are in camps. And so it is only when they come on break or vacations that they will see them. But follow up, see what is happening, pay frequent visits to them, and then take particular interest in them. And we could also say that it's because the family system is more or less broken down to the nuclear family. Even with the nuclear family, technology has taken over. And so you realize that we are not spending much time to bond as a family. When something is going wrong, that the child considers as shame, right. The child can open up even at that level and say that this is what I'm going through. It might be shameful, but I want to share or talk to somebody. Then we can begin situations before they get worse. So right. We are asking everybody to come on board because the ministry is supposed to be in every home. And you can imagine a ministry that takes care of almost everybody in Ghana. It will need everyone's cooperation. It is only our collective responsibility that will make us, thrive as a people. And right. So we call on parents, teachers, everybody to come on board so that we make sure that the more cases that are reported, we deal with them. And then the security agencies, we also ask the court. You realize that sometimes the medical fee that you have to pay is so much. We are raising advocacy to see if it can be waived off. And then people can easily report and go to the hospital, get their medical report, and then perpetrators brought to book. Some of right. the bottlenecks have been there for so long, but I believe that when we come together as a people, as a nation, we'll be able to fight some of these things. But we are happy that people are reporting them, and the culture of silence is being broken.
Dr. Agnes Namamulati, thank you so much for your time. She's the Minister of Gender, Children and Social Protection. She's been speaking to us on a number of cases involving sexual abuse as well as defilements that has been recorded over the past few years. You're still watching Weekend Central right here on TV3. We're going for our very first break. We'll be back with more news. Do stay. Now we're crossing over to the Ashanti region where all is set for the 29th Ghana Journalists Association Awards at the Menchia Palace. Two of Media General's journalists Sarah Apenkre and Godwin Asediba are nominees for the awards. Now let's speak to our Ashanti Regional Bureau Chief William Evans Inkum. He's bringing us more details on that. William, can you give us an update on the awards?
Right, so all is set for the awards to start. Now, we're still receiving some dignitaries and, of course, journalists across the various media institutions or platforms. I mean, of course, across all 16 regions. As far as the executives of the DGA is concerned, those who have also been nominated for awards. So they are coming, I mean, in numbers, of course, but you have to go through a process. So this is where you have to get registered, of course, to prove that indeed you have the accreditation or the invite before you'll be allowed in. So that process is being followed through. I mean, this is a restricted area. So in terms of security, I can tell you that it is also a top priority. Of course, we are expecting His Excellency, the President of the Republic, not too long ago. I spoke to one of the aides, and she told me that the president will be coming. So his advanced party has is already in an indication that the president of the Republic will be gracing this particular event. Of course, we also know that the Santehene 2462 the second, of course, he is the host. I mean, this edifice belongs to the Santehene. And this is where we are being hosted. So Santehene will also be here to also support this particular event. And a host of other dignitaries that will be converging here at the auditorium. So, I mean, I can tell you that all is set for the 29th DJA Awards for the first time in the Ashanti region. And here from the Menchia Palace.
And William, have you been able to engage any of our nominees, and how are they feeling ahead of the awards this evening?
Well, excited. Many have been saying that we should go home with the ultimate. And Godwin Asediba's name has come up many times, that he is deserving of the GJA Journalist of the Year award. Well, that is what we are all expecting, because Godwin has done a lot. I mean, having won the Pamela Dumont Award, currently in BBC, having his internship there with BBC, having won a number of international awards, and also having been nominated for more awards globally. The GJA should just put or be an icing on the cake. And I mean, that is what many are saying. But hey, we are waiting for that gracious period, but it can only be confirmed after the event. So these are some of the anticipations. Sarah, we know she's also taking an award. Certainly is going to be the health sector, because that is an area that she has also distinguished herself as far as her journalistic, credentials or career is concerned.
Right, many thanks for your time. William Evans Inkum is our Northern Bureau Chief. He has been bringing us all the details as all is set for the GJ Awards for this year. And kudos to the nominees as well, Sarah Apenkre and Godwin Asediba. We are expecting to see more awards in the coming years. Let's now turn our attention to the Bono East region, where the concerned youth of Kintampo are threatening a massive demonstration if the government fails to provide a clear timeline for the construction of their road projects. Our reporter Belinda Tete joins us for more details on this. Belinda, good afternoon to you. Now, we understand that their roads are the reason for this planned demonstration. How severe is the situation, and how is it affecting their livelihoods?
Right. The Kintampo enclave their main occupation is farming. At least 70% of residents in Kintampo are farmers, and almost all their roads are deteriorated. From inner roads to town roads, just about 15% of the roads are in good conditions, and the ones that are tile are equally in a very bad shape. And so even those who go to their various farms, the roads that links to the farm are in very terrible condition. So most of the times they record high percentage of post-harvest losses due to the nature of the road. Now, more concerning is the fact that even the road, due to the topography of the land, the road, their land is constantly experiencing erosion. Whenever it rains, there's erosion, the land is constantly washing off, to the extent that the erosion has caused huge holes. In some places, you would think someone intentionally dug a hole there. This is actually concerning because as the days go by, as the weather is changing, the land keeps, the erosion constantly keeps expanding to the extent that some houses are a threat. And they are actually saying that time is not on their side. It's a luxury they cannot afford for long. So they want, as soon as possible, government to address their plight.
And what timelines are they given until this planned demonstration?
Right, so they are giving government up till the 19th of December this year. If nothing is heard of based on the road, if they cannot see a clear timeline, they do not just want speech, they want a clearly defined timeline as to how long this road is going to be attended to. They want to know when the works will start. They want to know how long the work is going to take and when the work is presumed to end, so that at least they can know that they are also sort of cost. According to them, they've been voting for NDC from 1990 until now. Nothing good comes of. Whenever the party comes to power, they don't seem to attend to their needs, which is specifically the road. So they are giving government up to the 19th of December this year to address their plight. If nothing is heard of, they are going to pour into the streets to demonstrate, just to show government that they are actually serious about the plan. Let's listen to what residents have to say.
That all the roads in Kintampo are very bad. Very, very bad. You own a vehicle, you can't access your house. You have to park your vehicle at the station and take a walk to the house. And there's something that is affecting Kintampo. We have only 3 roads in Kintampo. When I say 3 roads, 3 connected roads for the villages. Kintampo to Kunsu, Kintampo to Nilong, Kintampo to Busema. These are the only 3 roads we have in Kintampo. But all these roads, madam, even motorbike cannot go there. Even motorbike is something that is affecting farmers, affecting workers, affecting everybody in Kintampo. So it's an appeal we are making to the president, at least to remember Kintampo. Center of Ghana, it's not center of Gaulis. Yeah, seriously, in fact, erosion is killing us here. All our houses are in danger. So we're appealing to the president of the Republic of Land, at least, to remember Kintampo, that Kintampo is also part of Ghana.
So roads leads to a lot of developments. But it's like Kintampo, there's no road you can boast of. There's no road at all. The ones we used to have are all washing away by erosions. We don't have any drainage system in Kintampo.
We are giving them up to 19th December. We are giving the government and the MC of Kintampo up to December 19th. If nothing happens in Kintampo, we are coming out massive.
Well, you heard there some concerned youth of Kintampo complaining about the deteriorated nature of their roads. And earlier we spoke to Belinda Tete, who is a Bono East Regional Correspondent. Now let's do some more stories. And a generation of innovators and self-starters, the Deputy Director General of the Ghana Education Service, Professor Smile Guava GC, is advocating for a foundational shift in the education that will see the integration of both entrepreneurship and technical vocational education training into the basic level curriculum. Speaking at the International Business and Entrepreneurship Research Conference at the Takoradi Technical University, she emphasized that introducing these subjects early is key to unlocking innovative thinking. Irama Smith is joining us for more on this. Irama, it's interesting, the perspective there. What more can you tell us?
You know, in Ghana, there's a significant challenge in the labor market whereby the tertiary institutions churn out between 110,000 to 150,000 graduates annually without any ready market. And you know, a research by the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research indicates that out of the about 110,000 to 150,000 graduates, only 10% are able to get employment within the first year of completion. Now, this has been attributed to skills mismatch, wherein the academic curricula do not adequately synchronize with the demands of the modern market. It is against this background that the Faculty of Business Studies at the Takoradi Technical University has organized its first International Business and Entrepreneurship Conference to brainstorm on how this gap can be bridged. Now, it was at this conference that the Deputy Director General of the Ghana Education Service in charge of Management Service, that is Professor Smal Gavua GC, called for the inclusion or integration of TVET into the basic level curricula because she believes when this is done, the children will be prepared from the onset with entrepreneurial skills.
Be an entrepreneur or doing something for yourself is not for, let's say, school dropout. And we should also not wait until we get to the tertiary level before we learn entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship should be taught at the basic level so that right from the beginning, we can start thinking of doing something for ourselves. We can start thinking that, oh, whatever subject or whatever discipline we are in, we can start up a business in that.
And Irama, I believe she also spoke about the research work by tertiary students, which many criticize are not fully utilized. What more can you tell us about that?
Yes, she did. She believes that research projects at the graduate level should be hands down and very practical and not publications to be marked. And not publications to be marked and kept on the shelves.
We go to our various institutions. Our warehouses are full of project work, dissertation, and theses that are not helping anybody. We are even getting to the extent of just recycling the same topic. Let our students identify problems, gaps in the industry, and conduct a study, a real investigation that will be very helpful with industry. Let students identify business opportunity, develop a business plan, start a business in school, and that should be presented as end of program or end of school final project work, not just the usual project work that we write that we are not getting anything from it. I don't know why we keep on writing it.
Well, many thanks for your time. Irama Smith has been bringing us more details on the Takoradi Technical University, where a conference was held earlier. Now, lack of furniture is hampering teaching and learning at the Sagu RC Primary School in the Wa East District of the Upper West Region. Ibrahim Wangara tells a story about the challenges children go through to access education in that part of the country.
Quality, equitable, the fulcrum of education. However, here at the Sago RC Primary School, the situation paints a different picture. Sago, a farming community, and just like many farming communities in their country, children education faces several challenges. Here, parents' zeal to get their wards educated is high. However, challenges in the school undermine the efforts. These kids are compelled to improve the bare floor as desks due to lack of furniture. The same floor serves as writing pads. They are forced to brace the coldness of the floor because their choice is limited.
From KG1 to KG2, we have no single furniture. And the primary school is only 3 classes that have furniture. Learners lie down to write. And it is not easy to control such students. And when it happens like that, even writing is difficult for them. And sometimes they even play when they lie down. And some could even sleep, forgetting that they are in classroom. So actually, it's affecting the learning process in the school.
David, a basic 2 people, describes the current situation as worrying.
It is very challenging. Anytime I sit for a long time, my back hurts. I wish we had chairs and desks like other schools.
To the PTA chairman of the school, the situation is taking a toll on effective academic work.
Our school currently lacks furniture, forcing our children to sit on the ground as they learn. We urgently need support.
This structure, which can best be described as a hen coop, has been improvised to house teachers.
It's something that we are all lamenting. I don't think we can say we have teachers' accommodation. The structure that is there is nothing to write home about.
The district chief executive for Wa East, Ademu Shaibu, blamed the problem on exigencies, but assured of swift plans to address the situation.
It's a problem that we have inherited. Over the years, past governments have not done what is expected. Nevertheless, we are putting resources to make sure the trend is reversed. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, in the Common Fund alone, mandate us to construct 1,000 furniture for primary, GHS, and KG. We're in the process. We are awarding the supplies to a suitable supplier. So that's the stage we are. As and when we are ready with the furniture, we will deploy them to some of the schools. All of them will not get immediately.
In the face of the challenges, these kids aspire to climb the educational ladder to achieve their future goals. However, one question lingers. How soon will they receive the need to achieve their dreams? Only time will tell. Ibrahim Wangara, TV3 News, Sago.
Indeed, only time will tell. You're still watching Weekend Central. We're going for a very second break. We'll be back with more news. Stay with us.
When all the necessary arrangements have been completed, the president will cut sod for the construction of the markets.
Or opening one day, or advert one day, so that from the center
we can monitor to make sure who is lagging behind and who is doing what they are supposed to do. And by so doing, you will not award a contract that the contractor will go and there's no land. But the assemblies, the regional ministers, the chiefs, and the MPs, they have proper proximity. So they will be doing all those things. That's why we said no. Let us decentralize. So clearly there are going to be land acquisition problems, there are going to be all those kind of things. But if you decentralize, it can be done. We want them to do all this by 15th December so that the president will go and cut sword. And all districts, sword cutting is going to be the same day.
With an 18-month construction to completion schedule, some regional ministers present at the event revealed that they have already secured land to facilitate the smooth start of the projects.
So far, so good. They are looking for lands for us. Out of the 29, I'm speaking in terms of Greater Accra, out of the 29, the districts, we've gotten like 26 lands are ready.
Society is dynamic, definitely. By the time the 24-hour economic market is also coming, and that is why we are here. And all the 18 municipal and district assemblies are going to have this 24-hour economic market project delivered within 18 months as directed by the sector minister.
The ministry showed the site plan designed for the market construction to be carried out across regions.
Now, cyber threats in Ghana are becoming increasingly sophisticated, especially in Ghana's public tertiary institutions. From ransomware to phishing, these threats pose serious risks to financial systems, academic freedom, intellectual property, and personal dignity. In response, government is introducing a basic cybersecurity awareness program in the national curriculum to equip young Ghanaians with essential digital safety skills.
The Ministry of Education said Ghana's education sector has become vulnerable to cyber attacks, with universities identified as primary targets. Investigators found compromised employee credentials linked to government educational institutions on the dark web from January to date.
The ministry, working with the Cybersecurity Authority, is exploring the establishment of an education sector Computer Emergency Response Team. We will work with the National Computer Emergency Response Team to serve as a mechanism for detecting, coordinating, and responding to cyber incidents within the education ecosystem.
Director General of the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, Professor Ahmed Jinapo Abdullahi, warns that complacency could leave institutions exposed.
The notion of digital rights, the right to privacy, freedom of expression, and access to information is fundamental to democracy and academic inquiry. Tertiary education institutions must therefore balance innovation with ethics. In our pursuit of smart campuses and data-driven administration, we must ensure that surveillance technologies respect personal freedoms.
Acting Director General of the Cybersecurity Authority, Divine Selassie Agbeti, says the new National Cybersecurity Program, set to be integrated into the basic school curriculum, will empower young Ghanaians to understand their digital rights and contribute to a safer online environment.
We are actually working with the education sector from the ministry to develop into the curriculum from basic schools, basic cybersecurity awareness programs built into their curriculum, especially to safeguard how to be or how to surf online. So we are working with the education sector to come up with a curriculum, and we hope to launch the very first of that by end of next year.
The move is part of a broader push for a more proactive and resilient national cybersecurity framework.
And that's all we have for you for Weekend Central right here on TV3. Many thanks for joining us, and join us once again tomorrow, Sunday, same time, 12 o'clock, right here on Weekend Central. My name is Judith Brown. Do have a great day.